Holy shit, it told me that it's recording.
Did
everybody else hear that?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, now I have the option. I'm going to leave this meeting. I don't want to be recorded.
Oh,
Here's your timeout, bitch.
Yeah,
where's
fuck-
the
like,
do not
fuck this.
consent button?
Blur my face, please.
I feel
All
violated.
my commentary is privilege. Sorry.
God damn.
I want it redacted when you're done.
Everything's just absolute silent on the playback.
I'll send out the waiver later. Anyone else will get pixelated and voice modulated.
That'd be awesome if you did that to all of us except yourself.
Your voices are now property of Hawk and Hawkins Industries. You have signed over your consent to be used in any and all promotional footage.
Oh shit.
From this point forward.
I start creating a soundboard for each of your characters.
Honestly, I don't think anyone could tell the difference with my character.
All you need from me is son of a bitch.
Okay. So we are session 20 something. I forget exactly what.
24.
24 for, thank you, Dustin. Descent into Fernia. And let's go with the recap. Does anybody want to recap last session?
We ran from the golem. With another golem following us. Though he's a warforged, obviously. Then we went to the Winchester. However, we did not wait there for this to all blow over. So we're going back and waiting for this acid rain to blow over.
If we keep rolling weather like we do, we will wait for this all to just blow over. Well, let's also remember that we had damn Vegnog just go medieval on the what was it, gnome?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the gnome, so there was a gnome in the very beginning of the session where he entered this room, and there was this giant golem with a gnome on its shoulder. I believe, I forgot who knocked it out. I think it was Yandros. Ewan,
Yeah.
just knocked it off like one hit, and it was unconscious.
Yeah. I straight up knocked him out, yeah.
Yeah, it was a critical fail on the stunning strike ability of the boomerang.
So then the golem raged, and raged it did. It triggered its berserkness, and it just destroyed everyone. When we just decided to leave, and before that point, Vegnog went over to the gnome who had a name that started with a J.
Genzik.
Jenzik, and curb stomped him and put him out of his misery.
Yeah, curb stomped him with a blade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he decapitated him. That's it. So he decapitated him cleanly, and then we all left and went to the Winchester, and I think we ended. Like we talked about going back to, I can't remember the name, but there's like a main point. We learned that we have a book. I think I'm totally butchering this because I was trying to remember. We have a book, and we learned that if we deliver it to this, like, I don't remember if it's a church or if it's just like kind of like the fortification in the town. But if we do what?
High Hall. Where we had to go.
If we do it to High Hall, yeah, then we could potentially just make the whole city safe. Because right now there's just demons in the streets, attacking everyone. So I think we were on our way to High Hall.
Yeah,
and then
it was
we turned
not
around.
straightforward. And then we turned around because the weather became inclement.
Yeah, so for convenience, I have created handouts, and I just showed them to everybody that outlines the tome of the gnome Jinzik lab cost per Fiddleaxe, which has all the information that you learned for anybody who took the time to read the tome, as well as the vision that you guys had in High Hall with after touching the gem that was previously a part of Clonier, the sword wielded by Tira Marat. And yeah, the golem really raged out on everybody. It brought the house down, literally, with you guys getting out just before. And just some highlight points. The vision did direct you guys to go to the dock house, the Dragon Eye dock house, to find the book, as well as to find the contraption that would allow you to fly down to the landscape below, which turns out to be Vegnog.
We've sort of figured out that he can't carry our weight. He can take us one at a time if he can fly down and then back up.
Well, I think we landed on that for purposes of flying, that weight is less of a capacity, like the weight constraints are less. So as long as there's no like quick turns, it's a fairly like straight descent.
Well, I think part of it is
able to bear the
because
load.
well, part of it is Vegnog, your transformation is not a full flying vehicle, right? It's not like you could just take off and fly into the sky. It's a glider. And because of the design of the glider, and because, you know, it just so happens to fit the prophecy and vision that you guys received, it just so happens that Vegnog's transformation into a glider has just enough capacity for everybody +1 in case Brendan ever decides to show. And additionally, you know, because you're a glider, like I said, it doesn't really work to take off, but you know, you can fly and slowly descend at a speed of 60 feet per round, which you could reduce because of how you can control your the wing flaps and everything. So yeah, another piece of the vision was that this book would potentially be able to create an ability to address the fiendish threat of Flamekeep and save those survivors who are here in the city, at least for the time being. And the book does indeed contain spell workings towards that end. I don't know if anybody has taken the time to read through that section. I doubt Solomon would have any understanding of anything in the book, but plus, as in the words of Solomon last session, nerds! So yeah, there's that.
Comes to using the book to help the people of High Hall. Let's just remember the Silver Flame helps those who help themselves.
So yeah, so you guys were at the Winchester, you did some recovering, you headed out the next day, planning to go back to High Hall, but then a storm of acid rain came over and you decided you guys are, you're not gonna deal with this right now. You're just gonna
too many
head back.
Yeah, people are too much exhaustion. People are walking slow.
Yeah,
it's too much time in the rain.
Yeah. So you guys have returned back to the Winchester. They've allowed you to come in, but now there's a problem at the Winchester because this is acid rain, and so it's beginning to create leaks in the roof, and it's starting to fizzle down into the various floors of the Winchester. The Winchester, I believe, is 2 stories. So it is starting to become a problem. Now the barkeep, who is Matthew DeCanneth, he does have some capacities as in that he can cast mending, which is helping to slow it down. But if any of you have any ideas that can support or address the issue with the acid rains slowly coming into the building and deteriorating it, Matthew would be incredibly appreciative.
Problem if we had a glass ceiling.
Any transmuters in the house that can turn it into a glass ceiling?
As a matter of fact, I am not.
We get right on it. Just look at my tool proficiencies. None of them work here.
What tool proficiencies do people have?
Cobbler's tools and cooking utensils, whatever use those two offer us. Ooh, if we have sand, I can cook it into glass. Quickly, go to the beach.
Got thieves and jewelers' tools. That's not going to help us here.
Mm-mm. I got thieves' tools, land vehicles, and dice.
That's actually a good point. We'd like to hop in the car nearby and drive over to the beach.
Get me on a chariot. I'll get us there. No problem.
I'll pull it. That's the horse.
You need to rest a bit, Alyssa. Otherwise, it's going to be the slowest cart ever.
Hate speech.
Now. You're underestimating my land vehicles skill here.
It's true. He is magic with whip.
I am proficient with a whip, technically.
Harder, Daddy. You and harder.
Okay.
I could find dead bodies outside to place over holes on the roof. That slows down. They have to eat through them first.
That time, won't you go ahead and be horribly brutalized by the acid rain?
Do we have things that we could shove up there and here? And Vegnog looks around.
Well, there's a couple of kids at least. Might be small enough.
Do you have any ideas, Vegnog, of what might be an effective plug to holes being eaten away by acid?
Very specific plastic.
Like, is this like acid
it.
rain acid or like hydrochloric acid?
Well, it's strong enough to cause physical damage to anybody that's standing in it.
So like
It's
hydrochloric acid.
enough damage that average commoner would die after an hour or two of exposure.
Not hydrochloric acid then. Okay.
It's not quite xenomorph blood, but it's still pretty potent.
Buildings and structures of limestone can be protected from pollution and acid rain by applying a thin single layer of water-resistant coating, according to new research. Do we have any water-resistant coating in this era?
If you could think of something that logically might resist water.
Bat.
Well, wax,
Lard?
technically, where
Yeah,
you'd
or
wax
lo- yeah.
leather.
Okay.
Where would we get that
Yeah,
many candles?
leathers. Treated leather, perhaps.
Yeah, they treated it by adding wax on it or fish guts, if I recall correctly.
Okay. So now you're getting somewhere.
Does
Well, I know
Does-
this, but does my character know it?
Go ahead and everyone give me either a nature check or a survival check. Now, Vegnog, you're proficient with jeweler's tools, so I would allow you to use proficiency with your intelligence bonus, because I feel like one of the things about jewelers is knowing different substances to refine gemstones. And you'd need to have some kind of protective coating with that. So yeah, all of you would have a pretty good idea of what could be used to plug up these holes. Yeah, and Vegnog, you as well. So yeah, so wax, leather treated with wax. Placing glass bottles beneath the drips to prevent further erosion in the floors and stuff. Those are all potential solutions. Do you guys want to role play coming up with those solutions?
Well, this place is a bar, correct?
Yes, it is.
So there should be a bunch of bikers in leather jackets around here. We can just take their leather jackets and put them on the roof.
The Winchesters doesn't quite cater to that kind of clientele.
Oh.
It's more ornery old men.
Perhaps leather on the seats of the chairs.
Yeah.
And the upholstering.
The Winchester's certainly a nice enough establishment to have some of that, some properly upholstered furniture.
Use that. Surely there's nails around here, right? Find something.
Yeah,
I have to
absolutely.
figure out how to
Especially,
secure it.
I mean, many of the windows and all the entrances except one have been pretty thoroughly boarded. So there's definitely supplies to hammer nails.
Do they have any fish for food here at the Winchester?
I'm gonna.
If they have the bladders of the fish still, we could go ahead and take those out, then heat them up, and that makes a form of glue as well. And we can put that over the nails, and that'll protect the nails from corroding as well.
So, given that it's been a few days since the Flamekeep has come to Fernia, the only fish that they would have that hasn't spoiled would be, hey, you fuckers. Stop.
Bunch of fucking fish.
Strange fish.
I've seen those before.
Would be those fish that were like salted, dried. So they're if they did have any bladders, they probably wouldn't be
Useful.
sufficient to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, there's plenty of candles. There's some glassware that they have, and it definitely, considering that this place is eroding, if you were to ask the patrons who are here, and Matthew, they would supply you with those supplies to help address the issue. So you guys working together are able to do a pretty good job of keeping the Winchester intact. It really has minimized the damage, and it's given additional time to Matthew to be able to repair some of these things with mending. It's a little bit difficult because mending typically doesn't allow you to fill gaps. It just brings things together. But he is being somewhat creative in the ways that he's using the spell to allow it to still have some kind of impact. And it also seems like because of his training and skill, natural skill as a former member of House Cannith, it seems like his ability to use mending is a bit more sophisticated than most. So after a few hours, the storm passes, but you guys are pretty exhausted. And so it's up to you if you guys want to rest to try and recover as much as you can, or if you decide that you want to go to High Hall as quickly as possible. Kurt, I am going to send you a message real quick.
I feel like it's important that people be capable of moving. So maybe we take another night at least.
I am good with whatever plan. I am strong. Vegna, always strong. Except when I almost died that other day.
Just yesterday? Or
just yesterday. So, what's with the mustache?
What do you mean?
Are you growing it out?
It's like yeah, I guess you can't really tell all that well, but the picture that I have behind me here, but
I can see the beard sticking out.
I think if you click on my character, you could see the picture like in the handouts section.
There's a mustache there.
Yeah, I mean there is. Just but it's like mustache and beard and this whole thing.
Oh, okay.
It's more than a mustache.
The way of life.
Maybe Vegdog doesn't know the difference. I mean, hair is strange to a creature like Vegdog.
It almost seems like it moves on its own. I didn't know if that's something you were aware of.
No. I appreciate it. That's a compliment. Does nobody else have a beard or mustache?
I do.
Solomon's got a beard, it looks like. Yeah. Is that Solomon? That's not Solomon's picture, is it? That you?
Yeah, that's Solomon's picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Nope, you're the only one with a mustache. Unless Alyssa has a mustache.
I don't know what Lux has. Lux could be growing something there. Get to that age where the testosterone takes over.
Takes over like Mad Bush in Rainstorm.
It's been a bit difficult to take care of it here in this fucking place, but I try what I can.
Good, good. Maybe you need to get waterproof coating for it to make sure it doesn't get destroyed in other parts.
Yeah, I got a little bit
place
of wax
unsafe.
left, but it's not going to be Not enough to patch up those holes, that's for sure.
Grabs his mustache and just twists it and wax balls.
So we're resting, right? People are gonna take another night. Yeah.
Is there any other ideas, or are there any things people would like to do while hanging out here at the Winchester for another day?
I drink as much as they'll let me.
I'll let you drink a reasonable amount.
Sure.
We're going to take a long rest here, we agreed.
I think some people need it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kurt, give me a Constitution save.
I'm going to use an action point on that.
Okay.
God damn it.
Oh.
I'm going to use my other action point on that.
Seems worth it, I guess.
I am playing my own game where I'm having challenges in the background of all you guys talking and fixing the roof.
I'm familiar.
All right. What is going on? So, Kurt, after this rest, how many levels of exhaustion will you have?
I have no levels of exhaustion.
Okay.
Wrong answer. You'll have 2 levels of exhaustion. I guess Vegnog might chat up the proprietor. I forgot his name.
Matthew.
Matthew.
Mhm.
He might chat up Matthew for during his like some of his downtime.
So Matthew has been busy patching up the place, but now that that's done, he takes a little bit of a break. He asks one of the other patrons to tend bar for him. I mean, technically nobody needs to be tending bar at this point. It's kind of people are using their own discretion, but he has up until now kind of been taking on that responsibility and maintaining that role just because it's something that brings him a sense of normalcy. But now that he's kind of done the best that he can with the repairs, he does look like he's gone into a booth to kind of take a rest. But I mean, it's not like he's sleeping or anything. He's just kind of taking a break. So Vegnog, you'd want to go over to him?
Yeah, I'd go over to him, give him some time for himself, and then, when he's had his allotted 3 minutes of alone time, go over and interrupt his personal bubble.
Okay.
Matthew, may I take this seat?
No.
Okay. Then he just stands there.
Talk.
I am curious. You are of House Kenneth.
Are you still with them?
I'm just going to get this out right here, right now. I think that you guys are tools, and it is an abomination that the Treaty of Thronehold gave you any kind of rights.
Those are fighting words.
You're welcome to step out of my bar and out of the shelter that I've provided you then.
Why show this kindness to me if that is how you feel?
I'm not showing it to you. I'm showing it to the people that you are with. They seem to see value in you. So I tolerate it. But it doesn't mean I have to like it.
Well, suit yourself. House Kenneth has always been good to me, good to Vegnar.
Okay. That's interesting. Coming from one of your kind.
I have life and freedom, things I would not have without House Kenneth. What more can I ask for?
He just kind of sits there in silence, and begins drinking from his mug of ale.
Well, I hope you find happiness somewhere else. And he just walks away.
Yeah, he really doesn't like you, Vecnog. And I don't know how attuned your character is to like the emotional states of others, but it's pretty easy to pick up even for a Warforged that may struggle with that kind of insight.
I am an expertise in insight, actually. So I would probably catch on that pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess he would think that he just doesn't, maybe he just doesn't understand.
Maybe. Or maybe he just thinks that you guys are tools and nothing more. I will say, Vegna, given how much time has passed since the Treaty of Thronehold, it's not uncommon for you to have experienced that level of aggression, but it has been a long time since anybody has addressed you in such a way. Strictly for being a Warforged.
That makes sense. I guess I'd expect that's, I guess Vegnog would have expected that, like, from some people. Some of the older school folks. So he goes off and he stops any sort of semblance of helping to maintain the inn. He just kind of stops after that. And just goes and hangs out with everyone else.
Mike,
Mhm.
Taking a page from Kurt's book, I want to find some of the empty water barrels they have and create water for them before I take my long rest.
Okay.
On Solomon a bit.
So that's new. So what does it look like when you summon this water, and how is it that you are able to do it?
It is horribly uncontrolled. I summon the water and it just kind of flops in there messily with a big splash. I'm obviously brand new to this stuff.
I'm picturing now, instead of like just normal like summoning of water, you just start sweating profusely and you have a handkerchief and here you go, drink up.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason I wear Under Armour only.
Impressive.
Ring that out.
I was just gonna say master wicking technology.
Yeah. It's very obvious I'm brand new to this crap.
I'm curious, Alyssa, is this, are you using prayers and calling upon a higher power to do this, or is this something that you're achieving through study or through sheer internal magical capacities, or what might it look like to the outside observer?
The answer, it looks like I'm trying to remember sigils that I saw many years ago, and I'm trying to recall everything that I read, and I take out a little piece of paper and I open it up, and it's got some of the Silver Flame's writings on it, and I'm using that to go ahead and cast the spell.
Solomon may be suspicious.
Yes. It doesn't matter. I'm going to die this session from just too many levels of exhaustion anyway. Who cares?
How many levels are you at now?
I am at 4 currently. After this long rest, I'll be at 3.
You were at 5 before?
Let me see here real fast.
You should be down to 3.
My character sheet says 4 on it for levels of exhaustion level.
Like, so isn't the 5th one like fucking you're down, unconscious?
No, the 6th.
No, your 5th is well, I thought it was 0 movement 5th and death is 6th.
Yeah, so I would be at 3 then, and this just didn't get changed properly. So after this, I'd be at 2.
We just
right.
So your speed would be 0 at level 5.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where it got. It didn't change when we had the last session.
Everybody except Alyssa, give me just a general intelligence check.
Uh-oh.
I'm very surprised by Solomon's.
He's on it.
I feel like, you know, that kind of roll of intelligence, even with a -2, still got to be worth something.
Oh, I'm definitely sending something to Kurt. I'm sorry, Vagnag, I shouldn't have had you roll since you wouldn't have had any opportunity to really notice this thing, but
that's fine.
But Solomon did, so I'm going to send you something.
I get for stealing
Like
stuff
after-
off the cleric spell list.
After the conversation with Decaneth, when we leave here tomorrow, like shortly after we leave, the whole place will be in flames.
Yeah, he's collecting insurance money on this entire thing.
I've taken out policy.
As well, you know. Took out policy on this place, and everyone inside be ashamed when the door collapses and they're all trapped in here.
All right. Alyssa, when you were summoning the water, did you do it in plain view of everybody, or did you kind of do it discreetly?
I'd assume I'd have gone to wherever they're keeping most of the empty water barrels and done it. So if that's in the main room, then it would have been in the main room. If that's in, you know, a back storage area. It would have been in the back storage area.
Yeah, they were probably just keeping them out in the main room since people are just kind of using the water as needed.
Then it would have just been out there. I'm not trying to hide anything.
Okay. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah. It's actually a lot more weird for my character not to be able to cast magic considering where they're from.
That's true. All right, so you guys have taken another day of rest. So it is officially day 6 of you guys being in Fernia. So Alyssa, you're down to 2 levels of exhaustion. What's everybody else at?
I was good after the previous night, so
Okay.
your
And-
speed is still halved though, man. You're still slowing us down.
And then Ewan and Lux, you guys are back in terms of your ability damage, right? Lux, you're back at full strength. Ewan back at full con.
Yeah, again, I was after the previous night.
Okay. All right, so you guys awaken. Alyssa, you've filled the barrels with water. Vegnog has been given the cold shoulder. Is there anything anybody else is doing, or are you guys determining whether it's time to move on? Or
It seems like I feel like Alyssa's the main one, right? Because Solomon's good, and Lux is good, right? As far as
Mhm.
Alyssa's the main one slowing us down. We gotta assess her. You know, what's it gonna be like here, man? Are you just dashing every round, or?
Yeah, I'm just dashing with the rest of the group. They're all walking and I'm just running for it.
Vegnog would be like itching to go, but he wouldn't be like. He would just be like standing over people.
What did the rain ever stop?
yes, it only lasted a few hours.
Cool.
How did a merchant come by the name Vegnog the Destroyer?
The destroyer of competition, he says.
Yes, I ran competition at the town. Not once or twice, but 3 times. Earned nickname Vegnog the Destroyer. Unfortunately, I have most of my wares are in transit, or at least they were. Otherwise, I would be able to show you my fine selection of gemstones of highest quality.
Perhaps when we are back in the regular world.
Yes. Are we ready?
Might be okay. As long as it doesn't start that damn rain again.
Let's
Well,
go
I
open
would
the door
like-
and check the weather.
Yeah, I would like for Alyssa to rest more. Perhaps we will have additional time at High Hall.
I don't think we can keep resting forever, despite our needs.
But it may take some time to set up these magical barriers around the city, so you may have some time to rest when we are there.
Hopefully.
I think we can head out.
I'm going to head to the door and look outside and check the weather. Well, Betty, I'm going to pull out my iPhone and check the weather report at the moment. What's the forecast look like?
GPS does. It's like, where the fuck are you?
Yeah. It's not even just a blank screen. It literally says, "Where the fuck are you?"
Oh, very
No
nice.
signal
Oh, okay.
found.
Cloudy with a chance of embers.
Nothing but the chance of acid.
I will say, if you do look outside, the sky looks, for Fernia as you've come to know it, fairly clear. It is hot, very hot. It is a dry heat, but yeah, the sky is perpetually kind of dark. It's almost like a twilight. There's multiple on the horizon. It's harder to see from the city, but since you guys have kind of gotten closer to the edge of Flamekeep, and especially with crossing the bridges, you would have been able to see on the horizon that there's a number of suns that seem to be always in persistent, like, setting or rising on the horizon. They don't really move. They're just all kind of half hemisphere balls of just burning, like a sun. So
I've ever seen a half a sun though.
Rumors of those sun things, I don't think they exist though.
Well, it's not like a half sun. It's like the sun is coming up or going down over the horizon. It's just never really moving above or below. But the sky, it's full of dark clouds and ash, but nothing as intense as the pyroclastic cloud that you guys encountered before. No clouds that are appearing to be like what happened just before the acid rain, and certainly no intense mists or vapors that bring on just intense humidity.
It looks like a nice day. Perhaps we should pick up a picnic.
Let's move. We know where we need to go. Besides, I think that Canis guy has got a twitch in his eye now after looking at Vegnog so long.
He has. Yes, let's go.
Yeah, I will slowly pick myself up off the floor. I would also like to rest more, but I guess there is no time.
Lux, other than just smoking everything, what have you been doing this whole time?
Meditating, and I'm conserving my smokes because I don't know when the next resupply is coming. And I'm enjoying the fact that it's nice and warm down in this Infernia. Finally, someplace that's actually, I'm not cold. And I wouldn't mind resting for like another week or two, Everybody's in a damn hurry to get everywhere.
It's not by choice.
Oh, it is.
All right. So as you guys are leaving the Winchester, what route are you guys going to take to get back to High Hall? Are you guys going to follow a similar route through the rubble? Are you guys going to try and use the sewers?
I think we were going to try the same route we were going for last time, which is overland to the underpass on the bridge, and then overland again back to High Hall.
Just faster that way.
Mm-hmm.
101 to the 126 to the 118, and then get off at the 405, and that'll take you all the way to Hollywood.
Okay. So you guys, as you are crossing the area, surprisingly, everything seems relatively calm and quiet. You don't notice even any, you don't hear any screams in the distance. You're not seeing creatures flying in the sky. There's no giant monsters towering above the buildings where you happen to be nearby. It's a really calm, serene as Fernia can get, which it's up to you whether it's welcome or unnerving, but it is kind of what you guys are experiencing as you make your way to the bridge, and even as you're crossing it.
Feels like a calm before the storm.
And we see nothing in the skies at all. It's completely clear at the moment when it comes to creatures.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. Like there's no birds around suddenly, or imps in this case.
So I guess Vegnog would be just kind of looking out, like kind of on high alert, you know, for any for demons, like to see where if they're coming in.
Yeah. Anything else strange, then keep an eye out for that shit.
Yeah, there's even being on high alert and really trying to look out for anything that might indicate any kind of sense of danger. None of your spider senses are tingling. So it really is strange. But you're able to make it all the way to High Hall. And I assume you're using that side passage through the graveyard.
Did we go through the graveyard before?
Well, okay, so it's not through the graveyard, but the one that you used to get to the graveyard.
I would have a question about that one. I know we left going that way, I think because it was faster. Is it have the same sort of lock that like only a cleric can open? Or is it more mundane or what?
What I recall from the nature of the lock is that it's meant to protect from any kind of fiendish entities. So when Nightbreeze had you, Solomon, use your magic to undo it, it was what allowed her to cross the threshold in.
Right.
So I think.
I mean, I would suggest we just use that one. I mean, some of the devils are already aware it's there. And it seems as though if we can close it behind us, then it will prevent anything from following us in.
May have some sort of conflict added, but hopefully nothing we can't overcome.
Right now, there is nothing. Everything seems clear.
Like I said, calm before the storm.
Have there been any bodies in the street that we've noticed? Like, or were they all washed away and destroyed by the acid rain?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, you don't encounter any bodies. There's the streets and much of the remaining buildings and rubble are now pockmarked pretty heavily from the acid rain. And as you're approaching, if you're deciding to go through the front of High Hall, you see that the bodies of the guards that were previously there are no longer there. The bodies of the hellhounds that you had previously killed are gone. And yeah, so those are all no longer there. And if you enter High Hall, there are also no bodies of the bandits who were possessed by devils, the Lemures that you had killed. None of those bodies are to be seen anywhere.
Is there holes in the ceiling from the acid rain, or does it seem more like someone picked up the bodies and dragged them away?
In High Hall, it doesn't seem like, as you're walking through High Hall, it doesn't seem like the roof was hurt or damaged too badly in the storm. Was always meant as a fortress, so it was always heavily defended, and so it may be that the ceilings are thick enough and reinforced well enough that the acid wasn't able to have the same kind of impact that it did to the other places around. You do see, if you look closely, you'll see the stains and the signs of battle where fluids were spilled. But the actual bodies are all gone.
Does it look like do we see any drag marks in the blood, or does it look like the body might have gotten back up, and is there like boot prints in the blood going away from here or anything like that?
You and everybody anybody who's trained in survival, I'll let you make a check for that.
I'm trained in investigation.
Okay, that would work too.
Yay. Yeah, 9.
Oh, fucking come on.
Did necromancers raise them, or are they collecting bodies for some other purpose?
So I'm a message Vegnog and Alyssa.
I rolled a 9. I have disadvantage on these.
Oh, okay. So then just Vegnog.
So Vegnog, he's looking around, and
he would say, it does not appear that I see no footprints or smears or drags. It's almost as if they vanished, or if they went vertically. And he kind of looks up.
It's kind of like follow the gaze upwards.
Nothing looks out of the ordinary when you look up.
Well, yeah, it might be ordinary for them to have a bunch of vampires sleeping upside down up there, but do we notice them?
But I was not here. I did not come to High Hall earlier, so I am not aware of what it was like before. Very strange.
Yes. Except there are more bodies.
Now, if we think about it, there's that giant Goliath thing, which you saw earlier, that was killing people. Perhaps the imps come down then and harvest the bodies for some purpose. Would allow them to quickly transport them wherever they need to go.
Probably take 2 imps a person, but I'm sure there's plenty of them around here.
There were tons of them in the sky earlier.
Speaking of the imps, those little bastards can turn invisible.
Even better for scavenging operations then.
Even better for them to sneak in behind us. Yeah. I don't know. Anybody have an efficient way of trying to determine if there's any of these things nearby?
I think there's much we can do about it at the moment. We should see about activating the book here if we can.
I think we need to go down into the space. Just have to be extra cautious about going down, I guess.
Have to be careful to close the door behind us. We should go and talk to Alistair.
Do you have to close it, or?
I believe the wards simply re-engage.
Once it's closed.
Who's the most observant?
Ooh, not me.
Perhaps that be the one that is the last one through. Because I forget, was it like a hatch in the floor, right?
It was in the.
There was like a fountain that was
Yeah.
supposed to have water in it, but didn't. It was like on the island in the middle of the fountain.
Right. I could remember like how we enter it. Is it like a steps that go downwards or a ladder or whatever?
Yeah,
There
it
were
was.
steps.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's just be extra careful.
Good design note. If it had been a ladder, the hellhounds would not have had such an easy time sneaking in.
For an elevator, hellhounds generally aren't known for their ability to press buttons.
I mean, you guys have activated it before, so whenever you guys are ready, you can open it up and make sure that it's closed behind you.
Yeah. So be fast.
Yeah,
about
I
it.
mean, I'll go and when everyone's ready, open it up and then remain ushering everyone through because that's always helpful. And then I will be the last one through.
Okay. So as far as you can tell, nothing else has passed through other than you guys before closing the door. As you guys begin traveling down the stairs, you do hear the voices of people, and As you get closer, you do see everybody, all of the survivors that were previously there are gathered down, many of them still in that central area. And let me bring it up for you guys.
I'd be quite curious to see if the bodies here are still present or not.
See if the living bodies here are still present or not.
Well, we hear the people. Well, we hear somebody talking, I guess. But
We really think they're people. They're cultists by this point. They've changed sides.
So, first of
Melissa,
all-
they're just tools. Nothing more.
Just like all men.
So the bodies of the people, you note that they're not there, but you also know that the traditions of the Silver Flame are to cremate the bodies, and especially in holy fire, if possible, reminiscent of the Silver Flame. Usually they achieve that effect with a special alchemical substance that makes the fire look to be silver. But there are some low-level clerics that are amongst the people who are capable of using the Sacred Flame cantrip, and with that, they were able to do the last rites for those that had died down here in the massacre. So yeah, you also see Trebek, who has a very happy look on his face, seeing that you guys are returning, and Slobberchops just looks at you disappointedly.
That's how most women look at me.
So Alistair immediately comes to greet you. There is a cheer from many of the people as they see you guys. And so Alistair asks, did you find what you seek?
We found a way to get to the ground so that we can go after them, but we also found a book that we believe can create a barrier around the city, at least temporarily. I think we will have to leave the city first because we would be trapped in here with you, and therefore unable to save. Wait, which one was it? I think I'm messing them up. Jayla Duran, not Tiramuran.
Yes. Funny how they make those names so similar. Maybe that's the main requirement to be the keeper of the flame.
There you go.
you got to be a Moran.
We have the book here with us,
Columns right
but honestly, I have no idea how it is supposed to be used to create this magical barrier. But in a vision, we saw it hemming out all of the devils from the entirety of the city. I suspect it is vital to keeping the city in one piece while we leave and look for Jayla Duran.
Well, that is the first bit of truly good news that we've had since this whole nightmare began.
And I forget who had the book, and Solomon would be almost afraid to take out the piece of the sword and try to line it up to make sure it's not flashing all over the place between whoever has the book and High Hall.
So you don't take it out, or you do?
I would, against my better judgment.
So it is right now. It just kind of has a soft pulsating glow throughout it. It doesn't seem very directional, but it also seems quite serene.
I think maybe Ewan had the book at this point.
Is that the Jez book? The Jez?
Jinzik's book.
Yeah.
Jinzix.
Is that
Yeah.
it? Yeah, Ewan's
Yeah.
got it.
All right. Well, we'll wait till Tony gets back. Actually, that's a good time for a quick 5-minute break.
Okay.
about that.
No worries. We use it as an opportunity to take a 5-minute break.
Because Ewan has the book that we were about to present.
A lot of faith in this book thing. How do we know we're not just activating like a lighthouse that's going to summon everything in a 500-mile radius to come here and destroy everyone?
Because a jewel said it would.
And do we trust it?
A holy jewel
Yes, the holy.
from the hilt of a holy sword.
I hear that's what Biden's using to make all of his policies at the moment is the holy jewel. The jewel has spoken, of course.
So you're telling me some watery jewel just threw a sword at you? That's a basis system for a government.
Listen, it works, okay?
All right, so everybody ready?
Yep.
All right,
This
so
I doubt it.
So Alistair looks to the group and says, "Where's the book? Can I see it?"
I'll present the book.
All right, I will go see if we have anyone talented with the use of ritual magic here to help me read through this. It may take some time. Go ahead and feel free to do whatever you need. Obviously, any food, water, resources you're more than welcome to.
Can Solomon help you? You were told how to
Solomon
do
laughs.
rituals, right?
Not rituals like that.
Still a ritual. I don't know.
Solomon, if you feel like you would be helpful, you're more than welcome to join me and the others in understanding what lies within the book.
That book must have 100 pages. Take me a very long time to read that much.
Only parts of it matter.
How many of the pages have pictures in it, though? That's the question.
Actually, a
That
good
was how I
number.
learned. That was how I learned all of my rituals. Was they would give me pamphlets with pictures of people doing the rituals, and I would follow whatever the picture was doing.
But no more than 3 steps. Otherwise, no thank you.
Once you hit step 4, it's all over his head.
Yeah. Then he can't. Then he forgets.
Forgets what?
Yeah.
So Alistair takes a book and he walks around calling some people over to help him go through it and understand it. Meanwhile, Trebek comes up with a grin on his face, slapping Alyssa on the shoulder and saying, "It's good to see you guys."
So again, how have you been?
Well, thankfully, it's been a bit boring. No incursions, no issues. There have been some weird dreams. Occasionally, we hear things scratching at the doors, or at the walls, but nothing has come in, so that's good.
Has anyone been upstairs since we left?
No, none of us would ever risk opening these doors, not unless it was absolutely necessary.
So you haven't seen all the bodies missing?
What do you mean the body's missing? You mean the body's here? No, we cremated those.
Yeah, the ones down here, sure, but you said you haven't been upstairs. There were half a dozen people that we killed upstairs too.
Wait, what do you mean they're not there?
Something has carried the bodies away.
Perhaps. Or they just disappeared. Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe it's nothing. Maybe that's just what happens here in this place. Maybe when things die, I don't know, they're reclaimed by this place.
I'm sure it's not to our benefit, no matter what the process was. But if we are right, then hopefully the shield that we may be able to put around the city will protect us long enough for us to go and find Jayla Duran and return the city to the real world.
I really hope you guys can do it. I can't tell you how everybody is just pining all of their hopes on you. Everybody has been in constant prayer that you will make it back safe and that you will be able to make everything return back to normal.
If we all have faith, I'm sure we will succeed.
Yeah, nothing will ever be truly normal. But we'll do what we can.
This is true, Ewan. But like you said, we do what we can. Things won't be the same after this, but if we can survive, we can try to rebuild to some degree. And perhaps it's a long shot, but perhaps we might even come out of this stronger than we were. So, has it been scary up there after you left?
It has been. The weather is not constantly clear skies, even for Fernia. There have been clouds of ash and smoke that choked you when you tried to breathe. Rain that would burn and dissolve flesh. Right now, however, it is strangely calm. Hot, but calm. I have no idea if this is to our benefit or not, but in the short term, it made it easier to cross the city again.
This place truly is a nightmare. Choking clouds. It's.
It is veritable wasteland.
Who are you? You weren't with them before.
I was not. I am Vegnog. Pleased to meet you. Who are you?
I'm Trebek. Dustin doesn't know. Let's bring up Trebek.
I looked at his picture, wondering if it was the one, the only.
It actually is not. It was a random NPC named Trebek. And then
Trebek.
Yeah, it was Trebek.
And we kept calling him Trebek. Shortly, very shortly, and inappropriately shortly after the death of Alex Trebek, we decided.
It was like, all right, I get this guy's just named Trebek now.
This is what happened to Alex Trebek.
He lives on in hell.
I didn't even think of that. But then, of course, Trebek then, after he makes status into, he's upgraded to a follower, he manages to get a critical hit that kills the white Apache, that the group was fighting down here, which was like the head dude.
He's got like the last hit on like 3 different mobs, man.
He does. And he refused to die as well.
Yeah.
Didn't he take a big chunk out of somebody too once?
Oh, he was eating somebody or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
normal.
because of Dr. Sheev or Project Ezreal or whatever. One of them.
One of them too.
Israel, I think.
It
Yeah.
had to be Ezreal. Yeah. We'd already crossed the bridge.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Sheev never made it here.
No. This is just one of his projects.
I do not live, but my child does.
Somehow more shady than Dr. Sheev.
Yeah.
I believe he's supposed to be here.
Yeah, he's somewhere in High Hall, unless he left.
He was here. This is where we left him.
Wait,
I'll take that.
Trebek looks at you strangely. He's like, that your other companion, Ezreal, we thought he left with you.
No, we thought we were. When we were going to the graveyard to find Alistair,
That
were
explains the
supposed
missing
to have
bodies.
left you and Project Israel.
That might explain the missing bodies, actually.
He's not been seen since.
Somewhere there's just a giant flesh mech that Ezreal has made.
Yeah, Trebek is looking a little strangely, and he says that person we haven't seen him since you left.
Project Ezreal's loose.
Well, I fear for his safety then if he left the confines of this place on his own.
I fear for the safety of everyone out there with him on the loose.
He is a strange creature. I have to say I don't really trust him. I also, what I remember seeing him, being in his presence, gave me a real sense of anger or disgust. I couldn't really place it, and I couldn't really figure out why. I don't recall ever really interacting with him much.
His creator did that to people too.
Yes, it was unclear whether or not he would ultimately prove to be an ally or a hindrance. But he had moments where he seemed hopeful. We may never know now. Perhaps he'll turn up once we leave this place, or after you raise the shields around the city, you might be able to find him.
Maybe.
That forces him out. That'd be something.
Ewan, what did you mean about his creator? His god?
No. It's complicated.
There was an artificer who tortured various beings and used them as tools, and Ezreal was a result of one of his projects.
By the flame. That sounds awful.
Yes, funny thing is they were both twisted and deformed, both the artificer and Ezreal. It's as if the flame punished his creator for what he had done to the creatures like Ezreal.
Hopefully there's some divine source of justice that continues that.
Yes, I hope it is a divine source of justice and not just a sadistic lover of body horror who just inflicts it randomly.
Wouldn't that be terrible?
That'd be the absolute worst.
I'm a little curious. I want to go to Mike's house and just see what's on his DVD shelves, you know, his Blu-ray shelves. See what kind of movies this guy watches.
Aliens, District 9, Evil Dead,
Yep.
Godzilla, Pacific Rim, Predator, RoboCop.
Mhm.
The Notebook.
Actually, yeah, Milo and Otis.
Pretty much the same thing, you know, Predator and the Notebook.
Well, perhaps we will see him again, perhaps not. Wherever he is, I hope that he is safe at least.
I hope so. This makes me sad to hear of this person who was twisted not of his own design and forced to live in such a way. I cry inside for him.
It's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard a Warforged use an expression like that before.
Not all Warforged are created equal.
This one's a hang glider.
I do have love handles. Would you like to see them?
I
They are
will
quite
take your
impressive.
word for it.
Suits yourself.
Besides, you might poke somebody's eye out.
It is too soon for that. You are right, Ewan.
There's a bit of a crowded space here.
So at about that time, Alistair comes over, and he had his face looks pretty ashen and pale. He has a look of deep concern about him, and he comes up to you and says, "Excuse me, Trebek. May I speak with the group of you privately, please?"
Are we excluding Trebek for some reason?
Yes, I just need to speak with you five.
All right.
Come, follow me. And Alistair leads you into one of the smaller rooms offshooting from the main one. He turns to you and he says, "So, this book that you found, it does indeed contain a spell that can protect the city and the survivors.
Perfect. Let's do it.
But it's not that simple. There's two requirements that are quite significant. The first is that it is in part partially powered by, well, it seems the life energy of at least 5 willing individuals. These people need to willingly sacrifice themselves for the initiation of the magic."
Hey, Trebek, want to have some fun?
Now, that in itself is troubling. But there's another issue. perhaps even more difficult. The magic requires a focus. And this focus needs to be a living representative of the enemy that we are seeking to exclude from Flame Keep. This spell was designed for humans, so it's unclear on how it might be adapted to a fiendish threat, but it seems that there needs to be at least a creature that is symbolically representative of the will of the enemy that the spell is meant to keep out. And the spell is said to work better when the higher within the hierarchy or whatever organization the spell is seeking to protect against.
So you're saying we have to somehow capture a greater demon or something and then use it as the living representation to create this spell?
Does it
Yeah.
have to be does it have to be a greater demon?
I
We got that
Stronger the
feather
better.
thing, right? Lux?
We determined that Slobberchops was a greater
Yeah.
demon or not.
Could summon that weird bird thing. It wasn't exactly hostile towards us, but who knows exactly what its intent was.
It is a fiend one way or another.
I've got no love for it. Doesn't
Nor
bother me
I.
to betray the thing.
Would it matter to this protection whether or not the focus was a demon or a devil?
It doesn't say specifically. I don't know that it matters. I think what matters more is the intent and how well the creature is aligned to the intent of our enemies. And
Well, that might be a problem then, to use the feather. Seemed like it was an enemy of the devil's. That is why we thought it might be useful in fighting them.
and I'm not sure that it says it needs to be a greater demon per se. I mean, the way that the magic is worded, it's symbolic. It doesn't have to be a one-for-one sort of thing, but the more powerful or the higher within the hierarchy that the captured enemy is, the more effective the spell will be. And on top of it, we need to maintain this creature. We can't allow it to die for the entirety of the duration that the magic works. So it also needs to be something we can contain.
Does this spell help to contain it?
It doesn't specifically say that it contains it, but it does say that the magic puts the creature in a state of intense pain and agony. And it does hint that the creature may need medical or magical intervention to help it survive the duration of the spell.
Got a devil catcher.
That is true.
Then
The question is, are we clever enough to use the goddamn thing?
It seems as if there are two problems. One, they will need a way to contain it once the spell has been cast, in which case they can keep the devil catcher and use it. But the first one is getting a devil here,
Might
which
be
I
just
think
a matter of capturing
we
and
will.
dragging here.
Right. Is there no one here who can prepare a magic circle? That would also help you to contain the devil.
Um,
Time, right?
well, perhaps one of the people here, one of the survivors, is familiar with that form of abjuration magic, but I don't know. I haven't asked anybody yet. I haven't told anybody about this because most of these people, they're not soldiers, they're not warriors, they're not prepared for any of this. If I go in and tell them that we need 5 people to sacrifice themselves, then that will create a panic.
And do you know these people? Have you talked to them?
I have in the days since we first got here and since
Fine.
you left.
Find your 5 most devout. Talk to them.
Yes, I could do that, but it's still no simple task. I mean, how would you feel if I came to you and said that your friends, your family required you to give your life and possibly a part of your soul in order to save everybody? That's not something that is easily committed to.
I give my all to my house.
Well,
I would as well sacrifice myself for the silver flame. Though I would question if we did it here, who would rescue Jayla Daran?
yes, well, I imagine that your mental and physical fortitude, your ability to persevere, and your commitment to your values are greater than that of the average person. And although I don't like to say this, but many of the people here, they're average. This kind of thing is the furthest thing from their experience.
Does the ritual say anything about them having to know?
And what are you suggesting?
Listen, if they can't, a sacrifice must be made, right? I'm not suggesting that you do it to them unwittingly, but like I said, talk to your 5 most devout. Make it 10.
If they're sleeping and we take them upstairs to continue sleeping and something happens, there's nothing that could have been done.
Well, we don't need.
It's just like accidents happen.
We're in hell.
You know, who's gonna know? Right.
I guess the devil got in. I don't know.
Alistair looks very disappointed with Ewan and says,
Like
no, that's not going to work. The spell does specify that the people need to be willing.
That's why I asked.
But still, that's not something I would ever fool or trick somebody into. That seems so cruel.
Like I said, it's not my first option. I gave you my first option.
Well,
In the meantime, can you give us any direction on where we might go to capture one of these things?
I wouldn't have the first clue. I've been down here in the bunker since you left, since you brought me back. And while I was out, I was in the graveyard. And we didn't, from the graveyard, you couldn't really see the city beyond the boundaries of that graveyard. And then
Suppose we could move in the direction of the cathedral. There were a lot there at one point.
so with that, actually, all of a sudden, there is a pretty sizable earthquake. It's not enough to knock anybody to the ground, but it does shake the dust from the ceiling, and you can hear everybody from the main room shouting. There's chaos and commotion. After a few moments, the quake stops, and then after a moment of calm, it starts up again. This time, more intense. And this repeats several times until you can begin seeing cracks forming in the foundation, growing and rising up into the walls. Pieces of the ceiling are beginning to fall, and right now it's pebbles and rocks, but you can see the cracks in the ceiling growing larger, with the potential for other larger sections of the ceiling to fall. What's this? What's happening?
It is our sign to get out of here. Grab the people. Let's get out before
Seems
we
like
cave in.
These fiends have had enough.
Take care of it. Start heading out.
So, after a moment of calm, where the earthquake seems to stop, everybody begins to hear a voice in your heads, and it sounds simultaneously as sweet as honey and as unnerving as nails on a chalkboard. And it's a female voice, and it goes, I can feel your terror. It's just so exhilarating. I could drink it in all day. Alas, there's work to be done. You must have felt so safe in your bunker, the magic protecting my kind from entering. But now you have a choice. Come out and submit. Some of you may become slaves. Most will probably be eaten or turned into our playthings. If you choose to remain where you are, then this bunker that you cower within will become your tomb. And then the quaking begins again, even more strongly than before. Serious damage is beginning to grow into the walls and the floors and everything. People are screaming. Chunks are beginning to fall that are large enough that if they were to hit somebody, it could seriously hurt or perhaps even kill someone. And Alistair looks to you and says, what do we do? We have to go out and fight, right? We have to try and save these people somehow.
Take cover. Take cover. I think we found our greater demon.
Yes, try to find people who would be willing to sacrifice themselves to the ritual. If we can capture whatever this is, you can begin, presumably.
May the
And
silver...
that will then provide you a margin of safety while we leave to find our own.
Knight Commander Alistair puts his hand on Lux, since Lux is the closest one to him, and says, "May the silver flame be your armor." And then he goes.
Thought Lux might try to evade.
Did Lux consent to being touched by him? I don't think so.
How would Lux react?
Considering how baked she is, probably wouldn't care at this point.
All right, so you've been resuming your toking.
Yeah, all this talk about some ritual and some sacrifice and having to find a demon and yeah, it's just like, if we're gonna have to do this, I might as well be absolutely stoned.
It's a trip, man.
There is no Lux, there is only Lux.
You ever looked at the back of a $20 bill, man? You ever looked at the back of a $20 bill on weed? Oh man, there's some crazy shit going on there, man.
What does Alistair say? Something about the silver
There's a
flame.
man hiding in the bushes.
May
You
the
be tripping.
may the silver flame be your armor.
Yeah, she said, we're gonna need more than that.
Peter, I just saw what you wrote before. All right, so you guys are doing what then?
Going back outside.
Yeah, going outside, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Heading up the stairs in chevron formation.
All right.
Shovel
You
this
and
up,
whipping
so-
Alyssa to keep her moving quick.
Quick, somebody get me a whip.
All right. So let me load it up.
Do you have a handout for Alistair?
I do.
Is it on there? I just can't find it, or is it under something else?
It's chapter 1 under known NPCs.
Oh, that's what. Okay, Knight Commander. That's what I was missing. All right, my bad.
Okay, so let me bring up the map. All right, so your characters are now at the door. Are you guys seeing the map, first of all? Okay.
Except probably not everybody. I see Project Ezreal here.
Yeah.
Vagnog's not on
Vagnog.
here.
Let me get rid of him. And Vagnog's there.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Or I can't see any.
Oh, okay, there. Yeah.
Let's
Around the
try
corner.
this.
There's a second door there. Yeah.
All right. And Dustin, you have 35 hit points, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I got it right then.
Many hit points.
All right, so
I guess
let
I
me.
don't know what class you are. That 35 hit points is what you got. Because that's
True.
low.
Yeah,
Rogue.
Lux.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I got almost 70.
You people with your filthy hit points.
So, Out in the distance, you see a single creature floating just above the ground. She looks like this. And before you cross the threshold, we'll roll initiative.
I still can't see it. It's still a black screen for me.
Well, let me try this. Oh, I need to turn your vision on.
Right.
Doesn't need vision. Let's be
Only if
honest.
he wants to see.
He has no vision.
Now
I prefer fighting blind.
let me make sure that it stays this way, where you always have the vision. Okay, can you see now?
No.
Can you find your character and like just move it a tad?
Does he have the Mind Stone?
I cannot.
Hold on, this is weird.
Do you see the pings?
I can, but when I like mouse over it, it doesn't like select anything.
Like
With,
when you like
the-
drag and drop to highlight?
Yeah, it
Nothing?
doesn't.
Huh,
Nothing.
Weird.
This is very weird. Hold on.
That's not your character. Very plainly.
On the right map and on the right token.
Does he have control?
Yeah, you should have control.
I don't know how the DM side of Roll20 works. So.
Let's try this. Let's start over. Do that. And then delete that. There. Vision is on. Big knock. So, all players.
Am I in the right layer?
Big knock. Yes. Display. Okay. You, and then we have you. What about now?
Nothing. I'm gonna try refreshing. Maybe there's something not with me.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that would, because your vision is on, the map vision is on.
I assign him to somebody else to see what happens.
Nope, refreshing didn't help.
All right, Ewan, I gave you access, so see if you can do it.
Nope, I don't see him. Well, I can't select it at all.
Really?
Yeah,
That is really strange.
it's a bad token.
What about now?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
It's weird because even like as on the display, I can select and move everybody except that token too. But as a DM,
try
I can
to-
move it. And it is in the token layer. Okay, let's try this. Your armor class?
It is 16.
Okay, I just created a new token, and that still didn't do it. Oh, you know what? I know what it is.
Is the token assigned to the character sheet?
It is, but that's part of the problem because Dustin doesn't have a character sheet on Roll20.
Oh, yeah.
So I know what I need
I
to
do.
I
do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's just mostly empty.
Well, now I'm really confused.
Game is broken.
Yeah, it's like a base of bare bones with the right amount of HP and armor class. Effectively. but none
Okay,
of
you
the
know what?
spells are-
Here, let's try this then.
Hey, I can see
Oh,
it.
hey. I can see it too.
Yay!
Now take the sight away from me. I don't need
No.
it anymore.
No, you have nothing but sight now. You see everything through his eyes alone.
We are one, Ewan.
Man and
What was
machine,
it?
we have achieved.
I didn't link the character sheet to the token like in the options, but you should have still been able to control it.
No, I wasn't able to select it.
Yeah, that was what it was weird. But all right, well. All right, so we got that sorted out. So now let's keep making things more complicated than they need to be. Let's share screen. And then I will show you who is in front of you. So this is the creature that floats before you.
Hillary Clinton's final form.
And as you open the doors, you hear once again in your heads, are you submitting or are we playing?
Actually,
See
bit
a
more
second
dog.
evil shield to add to your collection, Alyssa.
You pick up one evil shield and suddenly everyone holds it against you.
I just call out, I wish to negotiate. Totally bluffing, by the way.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
Negotiates? What do you offer in this supposed negotiation? Oh, by the way, she's not wielding the shield and the flail right now. She's actually wielding a bow.
I just say, I'd rather not yell. Could you come closer?
I think this is close enough.
Not for me. I'm sorry.
Well,
My voice is. Listen, I got strong muscles, but the voice, I can only project so much.
I'm getting bored. And she pulls an arrow and notches it in the bow.
Quickly,
All
let's
right, but
catch
if you-
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but if you're gonna shoot one of us, shoot.
Everyone, yeah, everyone hides behind the old lady.
Fine.
So let's go ahead and roll initiative then.
Hiding behind
All right,
blocks.
all right.
Well, wait. So are you doing something else in reaction to her pulling an arrow?
I was like, all right. Perhaps we could come out there.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing. She can fly, apparently.
She kind of tilts her head with a grin, and you also see, shoot, what is that? Where did it go?
I can't see anything. I tear out my own eyes.
So, she kind of smiles at you, Ewan, and kind of tilts her head. And you can see like her mouth beneath her helm, and she kind of curls her lips, and her tongue kind of flicks seductively over her dagger-like teeth made of a substance similar to obsidian. Well then, come out.
He's like, all right, but I'm just saying. I sort of, I don't know. I don't know if I might have like a. No, I guess my hair might be kind of down in the way, but I sort of like move away the hair from the the mark on the forehead. Like, I don't know. I was like, we've been marked. Like,
She starts giggling in glee. I found you.
Okay. I just shut the door. Like, oh, all right.
Okay, so you shut the door.
Yeah, I fucking sure do.
Okay.
I'd hope that would be better for me. Guys, we're learning something about the mark.
What is this mark?
So you shut the door. The door is still open on the side with Vegnog, Alyssa, and Solomon. And she looks like she's switched her aim from Ewan's side to your side.
Yeah, this door. Close it. No.
Okay.
You and your girlfriend's kind of a dick.
Oh, wow.
What is this mark you have?
I just like, if it wasn't obvious, I was bluffing the entire time.
So with you closing the door, you hear in her head, "Oh, well, I guess if you really want a stone tomb," and the quaking begins resuming, and the building is continuing to start to degrade. In fact, huge chunks of the ceiling are beginning to fall, like boulder-sized chunks of stone around you. Nothing directly overhead yet, especially because you're right up next to the walls, and that's the part that's probably strongest. But closer to the middle of the high hall, sections of the ceiling are collapsing.
It seems we will have to engage her before she brings the whole building down.
Lovely. Fighting someone who can fly with a bow. This is going to go great for me.
Yeah, this will be interesting. 100% out of our range the entire time.
Count of three, we all burst out and get massacred?
What else do we got? It's open to second opinions.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Kick open the door and come running out.
I guess the same.
Yeah.
We could summon a flying demon to, we're just going out there.
Oh, go for it.
Very well.
Summon a flying demon if you got it.
That feather's owned by that one back there.
Yep.
The one who is never in danger anymore.
The one most likely to survive an assault of arrows.
The one who had 9 vitality points the last encounter? Yeah, that one? Okay.
Hey, that was dangerous for all of us.
Especially Billy.
So initiative then?
Yeah.
Don't need initiative for this fight. How do I get to roll my initiative with disadvantage?
We get to. Do we get to run out
Hit
as we?
hit the gear wheel on the character sheet. And
Yeah.
then I forget which column it's in, but
I will allow a move action.
God.
I'll allow a move action from everybody before initiative takes effect.
I see. Cause cool. I have to roll. I roll it with advantage.
So do I.
So don't
Oh.
die.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We just hit roll 20's bad. We should
Jesus
have waited a few minutes.
Christ.
God! Do we die from initiative, Mike?
Yeah.
No. Oh my God. Everybody's.
What is? How do you get
What
a
are you?
nat one
I
and get
did
a
really
10?
well. I didn't.
Oh, Solomon, did you detect evil and good earlier?
No, I was just looking at spells I was preparing at the end of the last long rest. I'd never looked at my spell list again.
Okay. Oh, also, so Alyssa, that is a good observation it seems like you made. This barrier does act as cover, or it can act as cover.
I ran over there. My cover.
So
Much cover whenever the fucking ceiling comes down upon you.
so wait a minute.
I got melee. That's it.
So Dustin, you can roll with advantage.
Yes.
I can. But this number isn't right. I don't know why this calculation is, because I had 2 natural ones. So it should be 6. Oh wait, no, plus dex. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I roll with advantage because I had the short sword of warning.
Oh, that's right.
Which gives you advantage on initiative rolls.
Okay, so
Which looks like it did. Well, I don't know if it happened or not.
it didn't roll with advantage for Ewan or Vegnog. So I think did you?
No,
you
it
guys-
did.
did. It
No,
won
it did.
D20,
Two
one
natural
D20, keep
ones.
highest.
Yeah, I got 2 natural ones.
Wait a minute.
That's-
It
That's
Oh, it does?
5 nat ones.
You died.
We die.
Yeah. TPK.
That's it. Like, let's just roll new fucking
Yeah,
characters now. Let's just do it now.
All 3 of us.
Wow.
They never got out of the building. It collapsed on us.
Yeah, crushed by rocks.
We failed our
Rocks fall,
initiative so
everyone
bad.
dies.
wow.
Does Alyssa roll for initiative with advantage?
Disadvantage.
Oh,
Yeah, hers is
disadvantage.
hers is keep lowest.
Hell, I rolled 2.
Wow.
Oh man.
I rolled 14, so I'm fine.
Just end our misery, please,
You
Mike.
rolled a 14. You
Oh.
got a 12.
Right.
Yeah,
Jeez.
three doubles on nat ones in a row.
Wow.
What a streak.
That's legitimately impressive.
That's not necessarily because Alyssa's rolling with disadvantage. So one of those one of those was a 15.
Yeah, let me look.
No,
yeah,
they're
one
both-
was a 15,
oh,
the
yeah.
other was
No, I
nat
guess
1.
maybe it wasn't.
I don't know.
The other one was
Oh.
it looks like
What's my initiative? I get a +2 to initiative. Oh, okay. I have advantage. One of my rolls is a 1. And one of them was a 3. Because my initiative bonus is a
Right.
2.
okay, so you
I'm
It's-
okay. I did
it's-
not
it's
roll.
a-
One of my rolls was a nat 1. So
okay, so it's
read
it's
it.
still red.
Yeah.
Okay, and it looks like Vegnog.
Same thing with eggnog. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an
yeah, okay.
actual.
Nat
That's
one.
still really funny though that it happened that way.
Right.
So
I still didn't roll well
yeah.
with advantage.
So anyways, Abaddon's up. No.
Right.
So
They're out of
Vegnog,
they're out of the building already. Do I get out of the building yet?
yeah, everybody can get a move action before initiative
Yeah.
starts.
All right, cool.
Vegnog, are you?
Oh, I thought we were going in turn order.
No, you can take a move action first, and then we'll go in turn order.
Yeah, so there we go.
Okay. So, Abaddon is up, Solomon on deck, Vegnog in the hole. So Abaddon begins unleashing some arrows. She has clear line of sight on Vegnog, Ewan, Vegnog and Ewan. So,
Solomon.
or Solomon.
I was like, wow.
So 2 of them are going to be at Solomon. 1 is going to be at Vegnog. So
I can't see her. How the fuck does she see me?
you can't see her?
No.
Oh no, no.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
Right. Yeah,
You-
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
was
meant
like,
when I was
hold on a
seeing
second.
when I was saying Ewan, I
Yeah.
meant Solomon. I
mhm.
don't know why I seem to always confuse the 2 of you. All right, so this first one is against Solomon.
That's a
Ooh.
miss.
And
'Cause
let's see if it's a critical miss.
Because we don't have your normal.
Does a 17 hit you, Solomon?
Let me see right now. 17 would hit, yes.
Okay, so
No, I'm
it's
sorry. No, 18 she would need. I'm looking at my vitality points.
okay.
She was
Go ahead and roll percentile. All right, 27. Okay, so as she begins to pull her bow back, Solomon in particular, you notice what seems to be a very slight flash of silver light as she pulls her bowstring back, and it actually causes her to snap the bow in just awkwardly, and it ends up flying out of her hands, landing. We're gonna use Trebek as where the arrow landed or the bow landed.
Oh no, she hit Trebek.
Now I can see.
1d4. Oh,
I can see
let
everything
me.
Trebek sees.
I am Trebek.
No, I can't.
1d4 times 10.
Anymore.
All right. So it lands 20 feet away from her. So that's about 20 feet. And she's also knocked prone from it.
So she falls out of the air.
Well, she's only a few feet off the ground. She's just kind of gliding over the ground. But it does like disrupt her normal concentration and cause her to fall. And she is going to get up and walk over here to retrieve her weapon, and that will be her turn.
take that.
All
If you
right.
don't give up now, we'll do it to you again.
Solomon, you're up. Vegnog on deck. Lex in the hole. Or Lux.
I move to there. and I'm going to hold out Heaven's Fall, and Silver Flame begins to wrap from the pommel up my arm and then back down to the head where it focuses, and guiding bolt at her. Oh well.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, it goes wide. It missed her by like 10 feet.
It's a shame.
That's my turn.
All right, Vegnag, you're up. Lux on deck. You in the hole.
The Vegnag can move to about. He's gonna move here. And he pulls out his crossbow and aims it. Actually, let's see. Hold on, let me check something really quick. Yes, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use my bonus action to make an insight check on Abaddon, contested by her deception check.
That ability is actually not by her insight check, but her passive passive deception.
Oh, it's
so
yeah, okay.
It's so her passive deception is 14.
And is it my passive insight?
No, it's just you roll your insight against her passive deception. This way, It's not like a contested roll. It's like a consistent DC. Reduces rolling. All right, so it works.
All right, so then I can use my sneak attack against her. And so I'm aim my bow. And it's a 16.
19.
Oh.
Right? Did you have advantage, you said? Oh, no, I'm sorry. You could just use your sneak
I can
attack.
use I can use the sneak attack, but I don't have advantage.
Right.
That's a miss.
Okay. And I guess that's my turn then.
Okay. Lux, you're up. You and on deck. Alyssa in the hole.
Everyone remember, we need to take her alive somehow.
We got the things. Like,
Solomon, don't yell it.
Also, you guys hear her cursing like continuously as she goes to pick up her bow and everything.
So uncool.
She in the process of picking it up?
I mean, considering when these things are all happening, they're technically happening simultaneously. So sure.
Okay. All right. I will shoot at her with the short bow. Ugh.
The first one is a miss.
That's right. I got 2 attacks, don't I?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
How convenient.
Quick, make her go to sleep. She'll take off her honor.
So it is a hit though. So and is your bow considered magic?
It's from Pyelius. Of course it's magical.
I might be haunting it now. Who knows?
Oh, do you have any +1 arrows?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I assume you're using one?
Yes.
Okay. So then that's actually 9 damage.
It does ethereal damage.
So you get her through a small chink in between plates of her armor, but it seems like it still stops short from doing very much damage.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, use the rest of my turn and go right here.
Okay. Ewan, you're up. Alyssa on deck. Abaddon in the hole.
All right. So, 5, 10, 15, 30. I forgot who had the devil's traps. Devil traps. Yeah.
I have the staff, the devil catcher's staff.
What about the stakes that go in the round?
I don't have those.
Oh, that would be actually helpful for once she is, if you are able to knock her out and capture her. That would be something that Alistair can use to contain her for the spell.
The
But-
celestial caltrops? No.
No, the devil trap.
Devil trap. I actually have it.
Okay. Perfect.
Does anybody have the branding iron?
Oh, Ewan had that.
Yeah,
Actually,
you.
I think I do have that.
Yeah.
Trying to see what was that called again?
Silver branding iron.
Oh yeah, here it is. I need to actually properly mark that. I knew I had something, and I knew I recognized it once I saw it. Alrighty. So that's an action. Oh, that's gross.
Considering what it does, it's not all that gross.
Yeah, and I'm all about those good action economies, right?
Oh, I'll be right back.
Probably read this here. They have to make an acrobatics check. Interesting. So, all right. I just tell I tell Lux there as I sort of run by. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try and brand this thing, but if I can't, you use those spikes, and I'm gonna use let's see here. Actually, I think I could dash using a moxie. Stick and move, I think. Yes. So still with the stick and move, I can bonus action dash. Zoom in on my own screen here. There we go. So 5, 15, 20, 30. How far away am I? I think I suppose I could you know what, I'll go ahead and try it. I'll take my action to throw the boomerang
Okay.
and attempt to stun her. If I think I had 26 will hit.
Yeah, 26 does hit. So
That says the thing. DC 12 con save. So we could be so lucky.
it does have advantage because it has magical resistance.
Yeah, this is like a magic item, not a spell.
Other magical effects.
Yeah, I know. All right, so she resisted the stunning effect.
Yeah, but she still took the damage.
Yep.
You gonna throw it again?
Yeah, I probably will. I was just making sure that the thunder damage sticks. I'll throw it again. Look at that.
Okay, that's another hit. So you've hit her twice with, and there's like a thunder crash each time it makes contact with her armor, and she says, "Oh, you like to play rough."
Yeah, why don't you come get a hug?
Oh, also you have advantage on your attacks for that first one, so it doesn't matter.
No.
But
No, only if they haven't gone.
oh, I thought it was just in the first round.
Nope.
Okay.
In the first, basically, for any person who hasn't had their action yet or had their turn yet.
Okay. Anything else you're doing?
That's everything I could possibly do. Action, bonus action, movement. So.
All right, Alyssa, you're up. Abaddon on deck. Solomon in the hole.
Yep. Okay, so according to my mathematics, I can go to here for 10. Then I can go all the way to here for 20.
You can jump over as well for probably less movement.
Jump over what? This thing here?
Barrier. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a low barrier.
Well, it's not low. I mean, it's large enough that it provides cover. But I mean, if you do an athletics check, then you can do it. If you miss, you're fine. It's just you'll take a d6 of damage.
Okay, might as well do an athletics check. Let's see. Disadvantage, go! It's 14.
That's good enough. It's not a high check.
Okay, make it there. Then if I grab my tape measure. No way to make it there, unfortunately. That has a range of over 20 feet, so that's not going to do me any good. Well, let's just close that, and I can make it to here. And she's still too far anyway. Anything I can do with a bonus action? Combat stance with a bonus action, and that's it for my turn.
So one thing you notice, Alyssa, and it's apparent to everybody else too, because your shield begins to kind of darken. It's almost like the ambient light around it is beginning to be drawn into the shield, and the eyes upon the shield kind of become black, just absolute black, and you can see that Abaddon, she seems to be like kind of staggering a bit. So let's see.
Thank you for completely negating my light cantrip shield. Good job, asshole.
Yep, so Abaddon seems to be overcome by some kind of something that she seems to only be able to see. So yeah, so she seems to be struggling with something that nobody else can see.
Her weakness, emotional trauma, of course.
And now it's her turn. So
come at me, ho.
Okay, so she is going to launch arrows at Alyssa Ewan, and Solomon. So.
Yeah.
Alyssa, does a 15 hit?
15?
Yeah.
No, a 15 does not hit.
Okay. Ewan, this one is at you. And then Solomon. So all 3 arrows miss as she seems to be struggling to aim, and she kind of, as she's pulling the bowstring back, she's shaking a bit. And sorry, I need to just check something. Conditions. Okay, so whatever it was that she was affected by, she seems to have shaken it off. And that is her turn. Solomon, you're up. Vegnog on deck. Lux in the hole. So 2 very unproductive rounds for her. Setback after setback. Also the shield, Alyssa returns, the light siphoning effect no longer happening.
Oh, you're good while you lasted.
Solomon, you're muted.
I'm going to cast a regular guiding bolt at her.
Okay.
And you know what? Because it's brand spanking new. Since I don't think a 15 hit, I'll just turn it into a crit. I don't know what that does to her armor.
So it won't be a crit, but it will be a hit. So, so then this damage will just say that it hits. So you also see that the damage is much more effective, and she screams as the guiding bolt strikes her. So 19 times 2 is 38.
And then I will move behind the pillar.
Okay. Vegnog, then Lux, and Ewan.
Vignog's going to take another shot with his bow.
It's a miss. Oh, actually, guiding bolt brings advantage, so that's a hit.
That was it. Cool.
Yeah, next attack against her is made with advantage.
Perfect. So it does 16 plus. Let me roll for sneak attack.
Wait,
That's not a good sneak attack.
It's 16 total, right? Because it already included your sneak attack damage.
Oh, did it?
There. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's not a magic. It's not a magic bolt or crossbow, is it?
No, it's just a regular bow.
Okay. It's not quite as effective then. Anyone else? Anything else?
No, that'll be it.
All right. Lux, you're up. Ewan on deck. Alyssa in the hole.
What's the life-saving orb? I was trying to find that, but
Life-saving orb. Do you mean the ones that you got from the chest in the Dragon Eye dock?
I guess I just wrote it down like I had one, so I was just trying to remember.
Using one is equivalent to completing a long rest.
Okay, it was those. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, hold on here. All right, I'll move out here, attack twice. $16.
16 misses.
All right. I don't know if the arrows give me a +1 or not to my hit, or it's just damage.
No, it's +1 to both.
Okay, so
But,
17
yeah.
still misses. Okay.
17 still misses.
And another crit that's not a crit.
So that's 9.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make my way all the way, start running this way.
Okay. Anything else you're doing?
Nope.
All right. Ewan, you're up. Alyssa on deck. Abaddon in the hole.
Cool. I guess I can spend another moxie here to close the gap. And then I guess let's see here. What's exactly the roll? Make an acrobatics or athletics against their acrobatics check. So yeah, let's do it.
That's for the what is it? The silver branding
The
iron.
silver branding iron, yeah. So speak the command word. As an action, I speak the command word and then attempt to brand them with it. So
Okay.
it's an athletics or acrobatics, kind of like a, I guess, similar to a grapple check. I was gonna originally come and just try and grapple her, but this seems like a good option.
Okay.
Seems like a success.
Yeah. So go ahead and describe what happens.
So, basically I'm just fucking bolting towards her here. So like one hand I got the boomerang, right? And maybe she's confused that like I threw the boomerang and I hit her twice before, maybe like, so now suddenly I'm running at her still. And it throws her off, and suddenly like I had the branding irons like in the other hand, and I just sort of jab it at her instead of trying to strike her with the boomerang. And I catch her unawares, or off guard, I should say.
And as the brand burns into her flesh, she screams in a way that actually Ewan, your ears start to bleed a little bit. No damage or anything, but that you do feel like trickling of blood coming out of them. And there is a violently bright flash as it makes contact with her skin, and you can smell a really sick, disgusting, burning odor rising from her flesh where the brand had marked her.
Fun.
So now, what is it that the branding iron does again?
So she loses all for the next hour. She loses all damage resistance and immunities, as well as it loses immunity to conditions. So I'll just call back. She's vulnerable.
Yeah. She curses at you. You bastard! I will kill you first.
So like, how much of this is like a grapple check? Could I punch her with my second attack?
No, it's an action to do that.
Just
so,
checking.
Yeah.
It was very similar to a grapple check, so I figured I'd ask.
Everybody jump her now. We're safe until she kills Ewan.
No, you're safe for like the next hour. You're good.
All right.
But yeah, take her out. Knock her out.
All right. Alyssa, you're up. Abaddon on deck, Solomon in the hole.
Let me see. Yeah, actually, I can do that. I'm going to use my movement and then dash until I'm right next to her. And then I'm going to use my shrewd fighter to attempt a grapple check on her through my wrestling ability.
Okay.
We need her alive, after all, so... disadvantage athletics, go!
All right. She is grappled.
Okay. Psst, Ewan, do you remember where we have to take her?
So with that, did you drop your sword or your shield to get her?
I never unsheathed my sword to begin with.
Okay. So she is grappled. Are you doing anything with your action?
I had to use my action to dash to get close enough to her.
Oh, okay. All right. So now it's her turn. So she has thrown her bow. She brings out her flail. And over 50. Damn it. So she attempted to use her bonus action to summon another devil group. She was unable to do that. But she is going to begin striking Ewan with her flail. So first attack. $16 hit.
Just, yeah.
All right. Second attack.
That's a nope.
Third attack.
And, oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Usually.
Not when Mike's around. All right, so we got 19.
All right, so Solomon, you're up. Vagnug on deck, Lux in the hole.
So I am going to let's see. I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna dash to get to about there. I'm also I guess I can't dash and do this. So I have to stow my shield and put away Heaven's Fall, so that next round I can take out this Devil Catcher and use that because that's two-handed. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so Vagnug, you're up. Lux on deck, Ewan in the hole.
And would I be able to get can I tell if I can get a clear shot with Ewan and Alyssa?
From where you are, no. She has cover. So it'll add +2 to her AC.
So you got sharpshooter.
I do not. All right, so I'm gonna attempt to shoot between them. Hey.
Okay. So that's a hit. It's not a critical, but it is a hit. So
And
another
so that does
16.
6. Yeah.
This 16 does the full damage because of the brand. Anything else you're doing?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Lux, you're up. You and on deck. Alyssa in the hole.
Okay. She is just within range of my movement. Stunning strike. If I can hit her, right? You can try it after you hit, right? Or no? Is that how it works?
You hit, and then you decide if it's a stunning strike.
Gotcha. Okay. But can I use my staff, or do I have to, or is it punch?
You can do
You
it
can
either.
use a monk weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long
I
as
think
it's a
as long
monk
as it's a
weapon.
melee weapon, melee attack.
Yeah, because I'm going to use that, the bow staff I have.
Mhm.
Is that, did we say, what was that, a D8 or D6?
It's well, it's a D6 if you use it one-handed, D8 if you use it two-handed, or whatever your monk damage is. Like your unarmed strike damage, since it is a monk weapon.
Okay. All right, yeah, so I'm going to take the staff two-handed and try to whack her with it.
All right, so that's a hit.
And I'm going to try stunning strike with that. Burn a key. Is that one key point or two?
1.
Okay.
It's a con save.
Stunning strike, Constitution save. Yep.
All right, what's your DC?
That's another good question. So is it 8 plus the con plus proficiency or no?
8 plus proficiency plus your dexterity bonus. 16.
Is it dexterity or wisdom?
I
I
thought it was
forget with
dexterity.
monk.
I think it's Dex.
Oh, it's wisdom.
Oh.
Okay, so 13. A big old 13.
She fails. She is now on top of it, stunned. She's vulnerable, grappled, and stunned.
That's how I like my woman.
Well, I have a second attack, right?
You do. And you
Good.
can also use your martial arts to do a bonus action attack, or you can use a flurry of blows.
You get to add a martial arts die to shit.
No. Why would he get to add a martial arts die?
Oh, I'm thinking of something. I can't remember what.
That's T-hole because of his astral arms.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Spectral visage.
is stunned, is it an advantage or no?
It's advantage, yeah.
So I'm going to clock her again. Didn't matter.
All right.
And there, ran up there.
Do you want to use your bonus action for another attack or use a Kai point to do a flurry?
No, You said she threw down her bow.
She did, yes.
Where?
It's probably here or here.
Okay, hold on. So I can use the Kai point to on my bonus action to dash or whatever, right? Something.
What are you trying to do?
I want to grab the bow. I'll burn a Kai point if I have to, and just go and
I
grab
mean,
it.
do you have any movement left?
No, but if I don't, can't you burn a Kai point to move?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna pick up her bow, and so now you're holding your staff and her bow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wherever that is, it's like over here or some shit.
Yeah.
These guys got it. I just stunned her.
All right. Ewan, you're up. Alyssa on deck. Abaddon in the hole.
Well, alrighty then. Let's beat this bitch up. Punch and punch. With advantage, I guess, because she's stunned.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to that point, of course, I'm doing non-lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Still alive, I assume, though.
Yeah, but she seems like, I mean, it's hard to tell with her being stunned, but she's not doing well.
I'm going to use a moxie here to give her the old 1-2.
All right, so that first one, even with advantage, it's not a hit, but the other one manages to do 1 hit point more than needed to knock her out.
Perfect. And now we put that little choker device around her neck and we carry her inside, right?
Yep.
I think so.
I mean, I think we should carry her through the doorway and then go and tell Alistair, because I don't know that he wants us to bring her in before he has everything set up for the ritual.
Well, yeah, for sure. Like, hold her in place with that thing, put the spikes around her. This brand will stick to her for about an hour, so
Take her armor off.
It's true. What type of armor does she have on?
fair.
Full plate.
Yeah.
She's not as big as you.
It's adamantine full plate.
I'm only 5'10".
You're only 5'10". How the fuck are you so strong? It
So-
seems out of proportion.
Milk.
Are you guys completely disarming her?
Yes.
I would suggest that.
Okay.
So
So so she is wearing adamantine plate mail. She is also, her bracer is actually, it's a little strange, and when who's taking off her bracers? Because it's like,
I will, I guess.
it's probably me and Solomon because we both know how to wear full plate.
yeah, so it's actually like it's so that's a strange part of the full plate, is that this is the one area, her forearm on her left arm, that's not covered, and it's instead exposed, this bracer. When you go to take it off, as you're touching it, you touch something and a shield pops out. So it is a shield that can be stowed or donned as a bonus action. Additionally, her flail can magically extend up to 30 feet.
Jesus. My flow could do that in real life.
And
I would not give up Heaven's Fall for a Devil's weapon.
I might be. Let me see here. What kind of weapon is a flail exactly?
It's a ball and chain,
Marsh.
basically.
It's a martial weapon. Damn.
Oh yeah.
So I am not proficient.
And her longbow is just a longbow.
Of course it is.
So is her armor? Does it have like noticeable breasts? Because if it's not boob plate, it's easier for Solomon and Alyssa to fight over it. If it is, then we fight over it even harder. Solomon could just spend all day being like, "Oh, I like this."
Have you seen the picture? Have you seen the picture of her? That's what the armor is right there.
I mean, the picture also has her with an evil shield, so I don't know if it's 100% accurate.
The shield is pretty accurate. The armor, it's a bit more coverall. But yeah, that is what the shield looks like.
I would never use that. So if anyone wants the shield.
But yeah, the armor is, I mean, it seems like it has an ability to transform into boob plate if necessary.
You're good, Solomon. You can get boob plate now.
I've always wondered.
What do I do with all that extra space? Keep snacks in there, of course. In real life, if I could get plate mail with boob plate, I'd do it just so I can keep snacks in the breasts.
Wow,
So,
you guys,
I think
got
obviously both of us, both Alyssa and I'm not even sure why I've decided no one else even has a shot. I don't think anyone else is proficient with heavy armor. But hey, you wanna like roll d20s and see who gets higher to see who gets the armor?
Why would I possibly want to do that? You can use the armor more than I can at the moment.
Okay, I will take the armor then.
Yeah. Realistically, none of this stuff is useful for my character right now.
But armor looks fitting on you. It fits your form so nicely.
He has rooms for snacks on it too.
Great.
I have to say, I was not expecting it to look good, but you have proven me wrong once again.
I was going to be distracted in the next combat.
That's right. I'll be moving at half speed.
Self-imposed disadvantage whenever Solomon's in front of you.
He's suddenly Morty from Rick and Morty.
Man, I thought that was going to be a lot harder of a fight for you guys.
We know what we're doing.
We do. I mean, yes, we do.
Yeah, okay.
I totally did something.
Give us a single fucking target. We got it.
So you managed to drag Abaddon into High Hall she is bound within the Devil Catcher. And I'm assuming that Alyssa and Ewan are kind of holding her up while Solomon keeps her within the man catcher.
Well, I mean,
And we're
she
both
can
not
lay
confused.
down with the man catcher on. What does that matter?
Well, it's a bit harder to drag her.
Oh,
especially-
well, sure.
Oh, I thought that
sure.
was the name of her armor, was the man catcher. And you were wearing it.
You also want to be careful because she is quite vulnerable right now. So you don't want to accidentally kill her by snapping her neck or dragging her to forcefully
She'll be fine.
You have to drag her gently.
I mean, you don't have to be too gentle, but you have to be, still
As-
have to do it.
As gentle as I would be with a normal person.
Oh no, you
That's
and
all I
son,
need.
be gentle,
Yes.
please.
I don't have to do that. I'm fine.
So
I'll carry her.
so you guys do that. Once you get her into High Hall, then how are you proceeding?
Well, Solomon's gonna strip her, and then
Yeah, I guess bring her inside and do all that shit. But yeah.
Shall I go see if Alistair is ready?
Yeah, I mean, let's put these spikes around her right quick. Let's find a good place for her and put the spikes down so that she's harder to escape.
So you find a place within High Hall, uttering the command word while holding the spike. You're able to pass it through the stone floor. Even though it is stone, you're able to push the spike through as if it's soft clay. And then uttering the command word again causes it to become stuck in place in the floor. Once you put them into 10 feet apart, it activates the magic. And as long as Abaddon is kept within, then the magic is going to prevent her from escaping.
I guess technically, well, if she wakes up, she could try and escape, right?
This is true. Let's see, what does that look
DC
like?
20 charisma.
Was her arrows magical?
They were not.
They just did poison damage.
Well, that was an ability inherent to her. Weapons that she used had that additional damage.
Okay.
And that only works if she has some means to teleport. So it's possible that she could attempt to teleport out of the devil trap. If she has that capacity.
Is that something she has to speak?
I don't know. What does Lux think?
joke's on you, Lux doesn't think she's a yes woman.
Well, just kind of disappointed this bow or these arrows were not magical. I walked that whole distance to pick that damn thing up, and it was worthless. So
that whole
I just
extra
gagged
5
the
feet. I mean, she may also need to, in order to teleport, depending on how her teleport works, she might have to speak. She might also have to see where she's teleporting to. So
Gouge
it would
your
be
eyes out.
gruesome if it weren't a devil, but we should gouge out her eyes.
First it's boob plate, and now you're gouging out eyes. Yep. That's how it starts.
He's got evil armor.
Yep. I would try to recover my arrows.
How many did you use?
4.
You can recover 2.
Okay.
I mean, she at least had arrows.
She did. She had we're gonna say, well, let's see what the dice say. She has 12 arrows on her.
Okay.
$20,000 in non-consecutive unlocked U.S. currency.
So Solomon, are you just making the suggestion, or are you about to do it?
I would want to talk to Alistair first, in case he has an objection. I do have a pretty good medicine skill, so if anyone has a chance of doing it without like actually throwing her over the edge and killing her, probably me.
All right. So you guys have it all set up. Is anybody going to seek out Alistair?
Vegnog will go get him.
Okay. So Vegnog.
His buddy. Oh no, that was the other guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Vegnog goes to get Alistair, and a minute later, Vegnog arrives with Alistair, and Alistair is just shocked. You did it. I shouldn't be surprised, but still, such a creature that can bring earthquakes like that must have been very powerful.
Wouldn't know.
How did you do this? Where did you get these stakes?
They were in the lair of the person who had the book. We were led to them by our vision, along with this devil-catching pole and a branding iron that can rob them of some of their resistances.
And it seems the Silver Flame has indeed led you to everything that we need to survive. This is good. Now, I just have to find 5 people willing to sacrifice themselves.
We were considering whether or not to, we have gagged her in case she has magic that she needs to speak incantations to use. Normally I am not the sort of person to suggest this, but she is a devil and she might have some ability to teleport. So it occurred to me that maybe we should remove her eyes.
If that is what you think is best, I see no reason not to, as long as you can do it without killing her.
Can I make a medicine check?
Uh,
Figure out what I think about that.
yes. You also need to tell me what tools you're going to be using for the job.
Does anyone have a spoon?
I actually do have a spoon. I have cooked utensils.
I don't. I have this melon baller here.
Yeah, I mean it is a fair point. I really don't have anything that I think would be useful. I don't even have a dagger. I dropped even the dagger. So I probably wouldn't attempt it with anything that I have on me, since I would more or less have to pry them out with my bare hands.
And
Well, Alyssa
And
did say that she has a spoon.
Okay, so I guess what would my odds be of not killing her using a spoon?
Time to Google.
Depends on the spoon.
Right.
It's
It's
not
a
a
spork.
spork. It's a full
spork.
metal spoon.
So here's the interesting thing. If this were a person with person's biology, did Kurt freeze?
Or if you have two,
He's googling
does anyone
spoons.
salad tongs? That might be even better.
There we go.
I have a ladle. I know that much.
got a
might have
dart.
salad tongs.
So anyways, if this were a person with, you know, natural physiology, you would put the odds at pretty good that you could remove her eyes without killing her. Of course, this is a fiend, and so you don't know whether or not there's anything intricate about the eyes that are necessary for this thing to continue to live or function. So I would first have you make a religion check to see what you know about this particular creature. Okay.
I got
so-
some manacles. I'm gonna shackle this bitch up.
So based on the way that this creature presents itself, you're pretty confident that it is how is this pronounced? Isn't a Arrhenius? Arrhenius?
Arrhenius?
Yeah.
And Aranus.
Yeah, I always thought it was Arrhenius, but I don't know what that word is. But you think it's an Arrhenius or Arrhenius or Arrhenius or
It's Greek, and so it's the E's tend to be long, like Aphrodite. It's Irenes.
Arrhenius. Yeah.
Arrhenius. So it's an Arrhenius. And so you are pretty confident that it doesn't, like, its eyes are not a source of its power or where its infernal essence is contained. So you're relatively confident that you could take out its eyes. So it would just be a medicine check. And since you have the spoon, it won't be at disadvantage.
Who would like to help Solomon? Oh,
Okay, you remove the eyes. Strangely enough, she remains unconscious for the entire procedure, or at least she doesn't seem to respond at all.
No one wants to hear Mike screaming.
Lux is in the corner token away. Maybe she has just shed a tear. My boy, oh my boy.
I don't know if that's disappointment or pride. Oh, there was something else that you found on her. You found several potions. Do any of you speak Infernal?
Well, thankfully, because I'm the daughter of Satan, I do not.
Ask your shield. Your shield must speak Infernal.
Vegnog speaks Infernal.
So Vagnog, you would know that based on the label, there are 3 potions of growth.
Fill out the armor.
Growth, like get larger, I guess, instead of reduce.
It's true. I didn't think about it, but when Alistair came out, I probably did have the boobs up.
Yes, Alistair, what do you need?
I like imagine, like, you know, Solomon takes the armor off and I then start to manacle her, and then I look back and Solomon's, you know, got the breastplate up and like, won't use the shield, but you'll use their armor.
Yep. And then he goes up and takes out her eyes with a spoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
When you think about it, only men can cross-dress as women, so technically one of the most masculine things you can do is cross-dress as a woman.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never thought of it that way.
It's true.
Yes.
So moving on. All right, so you guys, you take out her eyes, you've manacled her, you've stripped her down, you've placed her into this devil trap. So
we're waiting for Alistair to tell us it's okay to bring her in.
Or for the, him to bring up the
5 volunteers.
Right, and do the ritual here. That actually probably is smarter.
So Alistair, before he goes down, he thinks about it and he says, Solomon, actually, something that you said earlier is quite accurate with the spell. The siege spell, if it is up, may not allow you to cross the barrier. I need time to figure out who is willing to make this sacrifice, and it will give you time that you need to leave the city and go and find Jayla Duran.
Are you going to be able to control this Abaddon creature?
You have given me all the tools that I need to do so. I don't think that I will need the devil catcher as long as she remains within the double trap. It should be sufficient. And you have bound her physically as well as with this magical trap. So I think this should be all that we need.
Then we should leave and go to a spot where we can glide down to the surface.
This may be the last time I see any of you. Hopefully it is not, but please go with the silver flame and may it protect you on your journey and guide you to find what we need to bring Flamekeep back and restore the light of the silver flame upon Eberron. Well, he would have said Corvair, actually, upon Corvair.
Amen.
I'll talk to that.
Long live the silver flame. Vegnog, big supporter.
good luck. So there's got to be like the best spot, right? I'll just plan out the shortest route to the end, to the edge of the city.
Yeah. So give me what have we been using for your knowledge of the city?
I've been using history.
Okay, so give me a history check.
Fucking all my skill checks are fucking way down below 5 on the rolls themselves.
So yeah, we'll
Takes longer than I expected.
well, not only that, but there's a hiccup, but we'll get to that next time. I think it's a good stopping point for the night.
Indeed.
So is it just the armor, or are the bracers part of the armor?
No, the bracers are the bracer is separate, and it's just the one bracer.
Okay.
So what'd you guys think?
We made some progress. That's important. I'm a little surprised that we beat a CR 12.
It's actually probably a bit higher, given that I gave it some special abilities that it didn't even get to use.
Or the ability to summon as like a bonus action, I guess. Just didn't work.
Yeah.
Lucky us.
And she was gonna summon the spine devils too. Let's see how many she would have gotten. 11. So you guys would have you avoided 11 spine devils. And additionally, she was going to use one of the potions of growth. She didn't get to use her reaction ability at all. And she didn't get a chance to raise up her shield either because she never got a chance for real martial combat. So, or melee combat.
So she had a shield too.
And then she also had that critical fail at the beginning.
Right. That cost her a whole round.
Yeah. And then
She got
whatever.
stunned.
Yeah, she got stunned. And then whatever it was that Alyssa did.
Just grappled her.
Oh,
I
it's
did nothing.
Alyssa, the only one that no, Solomon can use the shield if he wanted to.
Means
Right. Except that my shield has a holy symbol on it, and her shield has a giant devil face.
Right. So Alyssa is going to be the first to utilize the dual wielding shield abilities.
Yep.
Yeah, of
Wall
course.
shield.
Not useless enough already. Now I'm gonna have 2 shields.
I actually at one time had a fighter subclass for 5e that dual wielded shields.
Yeah.
She'll be known as Alyssa, the demon shield.
2 shields can fight over who's going to possess her.
Yep.
Giving
I'm the
Alyssa
evil
the only
shield. No,
chance
I'm
she
the
needs to
evil shield.
avoid possession.
So yeah, the rolls really went in your guys' favor, but you also used some pretty good tactics too, and using cover to prevent her from targeting some of you, and then also using that branding iron was pretty big.
That being said, she
Yeah.
did bring me below half. So she got 1 salvo of attacks, and 2 of them made contact.
Mm-hmm.
And we rolled crappy initiative stuff.
I did. I fucking roll horrendous.
That's true. We used up all of our bad rolls in 1 round of initiative.
You guys did
And
have
all
at
my
least,
skill checks.
yeah, and you guys had at least 3 criticals that didn't strike as criticals because of her adamantine armor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
didn't-
good.
that didn't
Which
happen.
at first was annoying, but now I look forward to the adamantine armor.
I shall block it with my breasts.
I hit you with my sword. Oh damn! It hit the breast and went right in between, and it's stuck. I can't pull it out.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for playing. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks for this game.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you.
All right,
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Easy.